one of the most badass restaurants in the country. I worked at Michael Jordan's Sport Cafe and the Steakhouse at Mohegan Sun Casino. I waited on Michael Jordan. I waited on Robin Williams. The hospitality industry, it trains us for a lot of different things, and this is what people don't see. I've got a bunch of admin stuff to do, or I've got marketing or ads or whatever. I delegate. Thriving under pressure, handling rejection, upselling, building rapport, confidently speaking, multitasking. You are hustling, right? I always tell anyone, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. Tone and delivery is everything. Insurance people are the most hated salespeople on planet Earth. In my mind, that's an opportunity. If you're making $30 an hour, okay, all right. If you're good with that, you're comfortable with that, more power to you. You can make with one policy what you're gonna make in 2 weeks as a server. Like, need I say more? Going from behind a bar to behind a dumpster to behind a microphone, behind running a giant agency, the skill set that I've picked up along the way from addiction, the hospitality industry is such a damn potent combination. Get paid for what your skill level is. If you've done anything in the service industry, you could crush it with us. You could absolutely crush it with us. What is up, guys? Mike DeSecco back, another timeless talk. Hope you guys are having a blessed evening. Wherever you're at right now, I hope that you're grateful for the roof over your head, the food in your fridge. I know here we are happy to have our feet on the ground and just have another day, have another minute, have another second. I'm the owner of Timeless Protection, and we protect veterans. My company safeguards consumers through their insurance processes. Insurance is the most complex product on earth. There is so many confusing words and, policies. We have to make sure that the insurance kicks in to make us whole again. Now, everybody gets caught up in an insurance policy that's just too good to be true. We are here to explain it all to you, right? So once again, guys, Mike DeSecco, Timeless Talk. Hit that like, hit the subscribe, hit the elbow drop. I'm trying to grow. We're trying to get 200 subscribers. Then we're going to go to 300. But we got to do something here. I'm going to focus a lot more on my social media presence at this point. We have got a lot of good traction with Reels and things like that. But the long form YouTube videos, guys, we got to step up our game here. So Aaron, start me with the Jackass movie high five skit. If you don't laugh at this, you're not a human being. I worked at one of the most badass restaurants in the country for 15 years. I worked at Michael Jordan's Sport Cafe and the Steakhouse at Mohegan Sun Casino. The hospitality industry, it trains us for a lot of different things, and this is what people don't see. And eventually, someone gets really good at serving or bartending, and they're almost performing high-level sales skills. They're getting paid not at the level, a high-level salesperson would be paid for that skill set. Anyone that comes to our group that's from the service industry, especially the busy restaurants. I'm talking, we may have all had a restaurant job in our past. I'm talking restaurants where in a given night, your service bar is cranking out 300, 400, 500 drinks. That's busy in a restaurant. You can crush it at the little local breakfast spot, on a Sunday, and you can make a quick $200-300, no problem. Any restaurant gives you that opportunity. It's no different than any type of sales job. You are left to your own to create and to provide for your family, right? You're at Michael Jordan's, guys. Like, you're about to grab some big old steaks. You want water? No, we need wine. What was that? That was an upsell, right? A sales job, like our job, you're hired as a 1099. You are on your own. Now, we give you the best opportunity to try to protect as many families as possible, which you would get paid for, but it's no different. So if I work at a restaurant, I've got to go in every night and make my tips, right? At a restaurant, I'm not making $20, $25 an hour. It's below minimum wage. I don't think I ever got a paycheck when I worked at Jordan's. They were all zeroed out. And that's just due to the cash. Well, it wasn't even the cash. It was the credit card tips that canceled everything out. But moral of this story is you are always hustling, right? You have to be sharp. You have to build rapport. You have to know your menu, right? It's just like any job, especially ours. Like when people come into the life insurance side of things and they want to sell. They're always like, I need to learn all the products first. I need to do this. I need to do that. No. How about you just have conversations? We'll help you through the conversations. We'll tell you what products. Then you can learn why we picked that product. Now at a restaurant, you're going to come in, you're going to train with somebody, you're going to taste food every night, at least at a good restaurant. This is what's happening. Then you're going to have a menu test before you actually get to go on the floor by yourself or behind the bar by yourself. You're not going to be as confident at first, right? But after 3, 4, 5 months of doing it, you know the menu, you know the food, you know what is right, what is best about your restaurant. And when your clients come in and you get a feel for what they're, kind of looking for, what kind of mood they're in, it's so similar to any type of, high-level sales. So at Jordan's, we used to have very high-level clientele, right? So at the casino, we have an arena, and you would have performers from Justin Timberlake to Kevin Hart. Anyone you can think of that was major, played at Mohegan. And I waited on Michael Jordan. I waited on Robin Williams. I waited on Charles Barkley. I waited on Big Papi. I waited on Oral Hershiser. Obviously, tons of executives and not so famous people, but wealthy people. The Swamp, I can't remember the name of the show where they freaking catch all the alligators. Was it Swamp People or something like that? The Troy, I can't remember the last name. He used to talk like, gotta get the alligator, gotta go get the gator. That guy. Anyways, he was super cool too, by the way. Maria Menounos. I waited on Jackie Jr. from The Sopranos. I waited on Rob Gronkowski. If I didn't say Tracy Morgan, I waited on Tracy Morgan. That was the loudest human being I've ever heard in my entire life. And this was like a week before he got into that really bad car accident. When you're on the phone with somebody, there's a lot of attention to detail. When you're in person with someone, it's magnified even more, right? And at our restaurant, the level of attention to detail. You go to Denny's and there's a wrapper on the ground. Your manager is not going to flip out on you if you just walk past it. Now, I love all levels of restaurants. I love all types of restaurants, from the hole in the wall to the chain to the fine dining. But at Jordan's, if you walked past a freaking straw wrapper and you didn't pick it up, you got written up or docked a table or a shift or something. Like, their standards. Now think about it, right? Michael Jordan, the most known, most prolific athlete of all time. Attention to detail in that man's life was basically everything. When we had to wait on these people, you're building rapport. Now, I always tell anyone, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. Tone and delivery is everything. And I mean everything. When you sound confident about something, ma'am, this steak is the best steak I've ever eaten in my entire life. Our chefs are amazing. This is what I would recommend. Yes, it's expensive, but man, you're here for an experience. Try this. Sold, by the way. That was great. When we're on the phone and someone is asking about a service, we get objections. How many times at a restaurant do you get an objection? No, I don't like this. Hey, this is undercooked. You've got to put out the fire, and you've got to go back to the drawing board and try to make things okay. You got to figure out what the problem is. Now, granted, the customer is always right. Customer's not always right. You just have to let them be right at the point in time. Now, I used to get people all the time where they'd order a medium rare steak. Now, steakhouse medium rare to your corner restaurant medium rare is probably going to be a little bit different. Warm red center would be at a restaurant. If they wanted a refire. Excuse me, sir. My wife asked this to be cooked medium rare. It's raw. Apologies. Let me go get this put back under the grill really quick. This will take me a couple minutes, man. I do apologize. I'll be right back. I'll literally go up to the expo, stand there for 4 minutes, 2, 3, 4 minutes under the heat lamp, take it right back, and they'd be like, oh my God, this is the greatest thing I've ever eaten in my entire life. It's like sometimes customers just like to be customers. Regulars that would come in and they would hit me off with $300, $400, $500 for a tip. It was like clockwork, and it was a casino. It's not like they would disappear for a while. They came to gamble, and they were there. this Friday night or that Saturday night or this Tuesday night. Now, when we're at a casino or at a restaurant and you're busy, the restaurant fills up. It's a Wednesday, you're not fully staffed, you're not staffed like you would be on the weekend, and you have to essentially thrive under pressure at that point. Multitask and delegate. This is another thing that a very good bartender, server, salesperson, leader is going to do. They're going to delegate. They're going to delegate, things for somebody to do. When I wake up in the morning and I've got a bunch of admin stuff to do, or I've got marketing or ads or whatever, I delegate. And I struggle with it because I like things done a certain way. And a lot of times when you delegate, they don't get done the way you would like. And that's on you anyways, because you should hire people that do things the way you like them done if you're the leader. Thriving under pressure. Handling rejection, upselling, building rapport, confidently speaking, multitasking. You are hustling, right? And at the end of the day, if you're doing that to make $20, why go through that? If you're damn good at what you're doing and you're making, $100 or $200 a night and you're working countless hours and you're away from your children or you're going to bed at 3 o'clock in the morning or your sleep pattern's all screwed up. I know that if you're in the service industry right now and you're watching this, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Get paid for what your skill level, deems you should be paid for. If you are a super high level service or hospitality person, you should be making crazy money at the right sales opportunity. It's no different. Steak is item A, insurance is item B. Let's get rid of it. Now we just have item A and item B. We need to go sell item A. We need to go sell item B. Item A, we've got to work a 5-hour shift. We're probably going to make $100, $200 if we bust our rear ends. Item B, you can have a 45-minute conversation and make $2,000. I always tell people we're order takers. When I get on the phone with a veteran, first, I generally hear a story that's oh my God, I talked to 5 other people and the prices they were giving me are ridiculous. They're pushy. They're just begging for my personal information. That's the first stuff we hear. That could be the same conversation at a restaurant where it's I tried the place down the road and it was awful. It was awful. I hope this experience here is different. I hope the food here is different and the service, no different, right? We have to understand that if you're damn good at what you're doing and you're not salary, right? If it could be customer service, it could even be at a restaurant. But if you're making $30 an hour, okay, all right. If you're good with that, you're comfortable with that, more power to you. But if you're in the hospitality industry and you're working doubles and you're busting your rear ends day in and day out, there's really no long-term benefits to serving. My mom was a career waitress. I got to retire her. And talk about a good feeling, man. You're talking about a kid who was homeless, drug addict, the whole nine, and he took his mom out of the job because she was tired. She was miserable. She was sore. She had a carpal tunnel. She deserves to be Grammy, and she deserves to be a mom, and she deserves to be a wife, and, it was just time. It's not fair for car salesmen who are out here selling 20, 25, 30 cars a month. Yeah, you're probably making decent money. But if you sold 25, 30 insurance policies in a month, I guarantee you, you would work in our industry. I guarantee it. Why? You're not at the car lot all day, every day. You're home with the family. We are very hated in the sales world, probably the most hated. Insurance people are the most hated salespeople on planet Earth. In my mind, that's an opportunity because I know that we're not bad people. I know that we do right by people. I know that if you're a client and I'm talking to you, I am going to deliver the most transparent information to you so that you can make a proper choice. Now, if someone says to me, hey, how's the calamari? Is it good? And I don't like it. Maybe it's a little bit rubbery. I would rather go with that appetizer. I appreciate your honesty, man. Thank you so much for telling me that. These are all the same exact skills it takes to be an amazing entrepreneur in the insurance world. Insurance agency owner, sales rep, agent, underwriter, whatever it may be. If you've done anything in the service industry, you could crush it with us. You could absolutely crush it with us. You have that mentality where you're walking in on a Friday night knowing it's going to be busy and you've got rent to pay, or you've got a car payment to pay, or we've got tuition, whatever it may be. And we've got to go hustle and we've got to go make it happen. You got to be in the right frame of mind. I would love to get in front of any server or bartender who, works their butt off. And if you ever got smoked on a night where your whole section filled up, you would crush it. You would make so much money. That's the opportunities that I wanted. And I actually took those shifts. I also took the shifts where I would close. Even if I opened, I would take the crew shift and shut down. I want as many opportunities, as many at-bats as I can get. This is why my sales were always at the top. And this is why my sales are always at the top now, because I'm giving myself the most quality at-bats in our industry. The reason why our team succeeds and a server or bartender would come here and succeed is because it's no different. If you can get a full bar, all their drinks, have no issues, you're not forgetting food, you're not doing this, you can do this job. I would challenge anyone out there who's bartending or serving to take a look at this opportunity. You can go right to my site, the We Protect Vets site, and check out Join Team Timeless. This is something where you could work the same amount of hours you are at the restaurant right now and probably make 5 times the money that you make. I don't know the numbers. I do know that if you're coachable and you come in here and you listen to me and you listen to our team, you're going to crush it. Nina on our team was a big service industry person. Let's talk really quick about life insurance for a server or bartender. Now, we're going to start to do this, and we kind of already have, but think about this for a second. You work as a server or bartender. If you don't go to work, let's say you get sick. You really don't have sick time at restaurants. Some rare restaurants may let you build up some sick time. But if you don't go to work and you don't make tips, you're really not making anything. It's just like a dead night. You have no money coming in. You didn't get paid $100 to be there for 5 hours, whatever it is, right? Well, you don't get life insurance. You might get some supplemental insurance. Again, there might be the rare occasion, but for the most part, you don't get life insurance. There's no retirement, right? There's no investing. There's no 401ks. I mean, there might be, but when you're at a restaurant, this is not the stuff that you care about or focus on. Indexed universal life for somebody in a restaurant, right? You're getting a huge death benefit. You get living benefit, meaning if you get cancer, have a heart attack, stroke, something chronic or critical happens to you and you can't go to work and earn, can't pay your bills, can't put food on the table, can't pay your rent, you could draw from your life insurance policy, not the cash value, but the death benefit while you're alive, aka living benefits. This is not the cash value. And you could keep your life intact. You could keep your mortgage intact. You could keep a lot of things intact by being able to tap into your death benefit while alive. You can't do that with any other tool in the restaurant industry. Retirement. Indexed universal life policies grow cash value. So let's say you pick up a shift or 2 a month. You could pick up that extra shift, overfund your IUL. You want to look at your cash value at the age of 65, you'd probably be somewhere near $1 million. You'd be anywhere from $500 to $1 million in cash value built up for you at retirement. It's a no-brainer, to be honest with you. If it's explained properly and you guys understand what it sounds like, you're really just kind of silly for saying no to something like that, because there's no way it can't benefit you or your family. There's literally no way. What possible thing can we think of that an IUL would do to impact a family negatively if you're in the service industry? Nothing. Put in the comments something. Okay, you have to pay insurance premiums. Big deal. If you could recoup all your premiums 10, 15 years into this policy and recoup every dollar you've paid into it, instead of having a $500,000 term policy for $60 a month where you outlive it and $60 a month goes into nothing but the insurance carrier. No thanks. Now, the other side to the industry, the side that chewed me up and spit me out, you party a lot. If you're at a restaurant, just the restaurant vibe itself, you're getting out of work late, you're around alcohol, you're around women are around men, there's single people, there's colleges, there's, you name it, bartending, you got people flirting all the time. It took me probably 6-7 years to crash, where we were going hard for 6-7 years. You know, when Cam was born, I was 21. I just started working at Jordan's when I was 21. You know, for the first 4, 5, 6 years, I would go out here and there, but like I was being a dad, I was doing good. Everything was all right. But the restaurant industry can really jam people up as well. Now, I have very high-level sales skills. The restaurant industry chewed me up and spit me out. I want to say that without the restaurant industry being in my life, I would be a completely different human being. I wouldn't have the skill sets that I have right now, and I wouldn't have the perspective. Kudos to the people that have like busted their butts in the service industry. You know, I know a lot of people from Jordan's actually who went on to open their own businesses. But there's also a lot of people there that are still there because you make so much damn money. You know, I don't care if you're 50 years old, it's hard to justify making $2,000 in a weekend. It's really difficult to leave that. Ideally, what I should have done, but I was young and I was stupid, is I should have looked at, well, I did look at business ventures. I was part of Sneaker Shields. We don't have to get into that. That was a train wreck. Learn your patent laws, everybody. If you're going to invent a product or be part of an invention from day one, you want to know your patent laws. But yeah, I mean, I was at Jordan's the other night. Baby Sage update. She's doing amazing. We have an ultrasound tomorrow. I got the almighty, babe, I want Newski's bacon and I want mashed potatoes from Jordan's. My son and I ran over to the casino, which my son is just a straight savage. The dude had no shirt on. He put a jacket on, like a winter coat, no shirt, slides, and his shorts were on backwards. We're walking into probably one of the highest grossing restaurants in the country to grab to-go food. You know, for anybody who has gone through drug addiction and you're dope sick at work, you've got no money, but you know the world's crashing down on you. It's crazy to think about. The restaurant industry didn't do this. The restaurant industry was where my addiction manifested and went into its deepest, darkest state. Not every restaurant is going to have the same pitfalls. If you're working at a breakfast restaurant, you're not there until 2 o'clock in the morning. You're out early in the day and you're gone and you're off to your other job, other life, whatever you're doing. Our restaurant, we had clubs, we had bars, restaurants. We knew everybody in the casino. We would give bouncers to the club or managers to the club. We would hook them up with food and then we would go get hooked up at the club. It's a very high risk, low reward type of industry. There's no stability. You get fired tomorrow at work, you've got to go pick up another bartending job really quick or a serving job really quick. You know, the consistency where I'm at, even if we have a crappy couple weeks of leads, like I've got plenty of leads. I can go book a bunch of appointments or talk to a bunch of people and help a bunch of families, which helps mine. So, you know, the dark side of this industry is the addiction, the alcoholism. Shoot, man, I had people that at our job that were like addicted to sex, addicted to gambling, addicted to eating, alcoholics, drug addicts. You had it all over the place. At a casino, it's like working on another planet. Any and everything you can think of is at your fingertips. And that's not an exaggeration. Not an exaggeration. I mean, anything you wanted was in that place. And that's a dangerous spot for someone who is self-sabotaging the hell out of themselves. I wish I could get every bartender, every server on a Zoom, and I would show them what we do. And I would show them what our tips look like. Because if they saw what our tips look like, they would sign up and study for the class right now, especially if they saw our system and process. No, we're not cold calling. No, we're not door knocking. No, we're not bothering mom, dad, auntie, uncle, the dog, the cat. We're not making up fake social security numbers to write policies on people that don't exist. We're leveraging technology and people are requesting our services, which is the greatest feeling ever. Especially when they request your service, they self-book on your calendar. You don't talk to them until the appointment. You get on the call with them. They've looked at all your testimonials. They've looked at all your credentials. And now they trust you and they're ready to look for coverage. That is not normal in our industry. What we've developed and what we have going on, it's a possibility for sure on a daily basis. So the hospitality industry, business ownership. Why would a server make an amazing insurance professional. Your customer service skills are off the charts. They just are. You're going to build massive rapport. The beginning of your conversation is going to be amazing. You can handle objections. You can handle yes, no, maybe so. You know where to go. You know how to pivot. You know how to think fast. You know how to multitask. You know how to keep things moving in a positive manner, in a great manner. Overall, that's an experience. The person is getting an experience. I had a guy the other day tell me after the call, he's like, dude, this was actually enjoyable. Who the hell would ever enjoy an insurance call? And it's because it was an experience for him. He got a full-blown crash course. And sometimes I feel like I'm talking way too much on the phone with somebody, but I'm giving them valuable information. I'm not just talking about my favorite shoe and what year it came out and, why my pregnant wife eats crazy stuff at 2:00 in the morning. Like, I'm loading somebody with information that they need to protect their families. Any server bartender is capable of this. So are you willing to step out of your comfort zone because you're going to be comfortable at your restaurant? Think to yourself for 2 seconds if you're a server or bartender. Think to yourself, what if they shut this place down? What if I didn't really know the financial situation my restaurant was in and the boss shut this place down? Now what? Yeah, you could go pick up another restaurant job. 100%, you could. That's the beauty about it as well, because you can go make your money. But don't you want something more? Like, don't you want something better to give your family and your kids? Don't you want to build something of your own? And a lot of people work in restaurants while they're going to school or while they're pursuing another career. It's a perfect job for that, to get some cash going, to pay your bills. It's the best. I miss it. And I'm going to have a restaurant. There's a building down the road. I'm going to have it. It's going to have offices for the business. It's going to have a couple places downstairs. My sister and my best friend, Tara T. Grove, she can have a yoga studio, art studio. And then I'm going to have a restaurant, and it's going to be called Sage. It's going to have about 30 seats at the bar, 5 or 6 booths. That's it. You do very, very, very good coal-fired pizzas and some fairly high-end classic Italian American meals with a changing menu, probably once a month. Fresh ingredients. 4 or 5 entrees, 4 or 5 apps, 4 or 5 desserts, 4 or 5 sides. That's it. Maintain the fresh quality. Pair it with, whatever the meals look like. You're going to pair them with some good wine or some good alcohol. That's an experience. That's an experience, right? It's not just come in, hey, what's good? Well, on page 60, we've got fried jalapeno poppers that have been sitting in the freezer since 1942, but they're pretty good. No, fresh. You can tell a lot, by the way, when you walk into a restaurant. Here's something I need you to look at. Look at the bar. Even if you have to peek over the bar, look at it. If it's filthy, run. Because if the bar is filthy, the kitchen's filthy. If the kitchen's filthy, the walk-in is filthy. If the walk-in is filthy, your food is going to be filthy. Little trick, guys. Just look at the bar. Check the bar. If it's sticky and nasty and dirty, that's all you need to know right there for the level of care, the level of attention to detail, the level of, passion that this business has, the restaurant has, whoever. That's why there's regulars at restaurants. That's why when somebody latches on to something, they're comfortable, they like it, it's their experience, and they're going to start leaving you money. If you've worked in a restaurant, somebody who's had an addiction problem. Some of the stuff I think about, God, going back. If you're in the restaurant industry, please just limit yourself to going out, be a grown adult and handle business. That's the most respectable way. And honestly, that's how you attract people anyways, is by handling your business with a professional manner. So look like a professional, deliver yourself like a professional. You'll do all right. Going from behind a bar to behind a dumpster to behind a microphone, behind running a giant agency, or hope to be soon running a giant agency. The skill set that I've picked up along the way from addiction and the hospitality industry is such a damn potent combination. It really is. The resilience I've built up, the ability to think fast on my feet, the ability to deliver a message, the ability to know what's best for somebody. I always tried, because I didn't succeed all the time, but I always tried to keep a very good moral compass here. I didn't do like awful, terrible things like I've seen some people do just to get their fix. Like if I had to cross certain lines, I just couldn't do it. Like I couldn't just like steal from people that I would then just talk to like I didn't do anything. I had someone do that to me one night, the check holder that I had, and I know that the person left me a $200 tip and I picked it up and it was gone. And I know that that person at that point in time is struggling. And that person is probably going to watch this video. I forgive you. I forgive you. I forgive you. I forgive you. And I know who you are, and you're probably still not going to admit it, but I know how you were feeling. The amount of stories, the amount of times I drove home drunk. You guys ever do a pint glass mind eraser with Don Julio? I think it was like espresso or Cafe Patron or something like that. Cafe Patron, Stoli vanilla vodka, and a splash of seltzer water in a pint glass down with a straw. If you're 18, 19, 20, 22, 24, you're looking for a job and you're going to go the restaurant route, by all means, I would love and I would recommend doing it. Take it from me, just go work your shift and stay in your own lane. Now, if you have a damn good head on your shoulders, you've never really been bothered by addiction, and you want to go out and party and do your thing, more power to you. But the industry is full of people who have died of overdoses, car accidents. Shoot, man, this one hurt. My chef, Chef Jesse. What's up, Chef Jesse? Shout out to you, big dog. He passed away while I was working at Jordan's. It was the only day I had ever seen our restaurant close. We're at a casino. Casinos are open 365 days out of the year. Christmas Day, someone's working. Thanksgiving Day, someone's working. Well, Chef Jesse got really drunk. We all used to go out, get drunk, and he like laid in his recliner, threw up, choked on it, died. Like 2 nights before it happened, we all got like really, really drunk. He was like saying to himself, I gotta stop this. Like, this is just, it's too much, man. And not only that, we had this house in New London, Connecticut, the Perry Street house, the big red house. It was like 5 stories high. It was huge. We would leave work and then that place would be full. Never ending, never ending. If you're at a restaurant or you're in the hospitality industry, you should get paid for what your skill level is. If you can handle a section with 6 tables and you've got 35, covers sitting in it, and you're getting all your drinks and you're bussing and you're setting up tables and you're getting your food in on time and you're just slinging, you're in the zone. If you did that here, you would change your life financially. Now, technically, I'm not allowed to say that. If you did that here, if you worked that way here and allowed us to coach you, you would change your life. How do I give this opportunity to everybody? How do I give this opportunity to you guys? I just have to keep pumping stuff like this out. So just real quick again, guys, I come from the service industry, 16, 17 plus years in the actual industry, 14 and a half at Michael Jordan's. Very high level everything. You guys could start a freaking wave. We could start a movement. The biggest agency of bartenders and servers who would just go out and help families, and they would watch their own life just change. You're home, you're safe, and you're getting paid. You can make with one policy what you're gonna make in 2 weeks as a server. Like, need I say more? And it's legit. Like, we do right by people. Look at our reviews, testimony. Like, we do things right here. Honestly, if you're in the service industry, you're approached all the time with business opportunities, or you're out here looking for business opportunities, and you probably might have taken a life insurance opportunity at one point, whether it's Primerica or Senior Life Services, whatever it is. It's not like what we have. It's not even close to what we have. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. So what I'll leave you with, guys, is it's time to trade up. If you have this skill set, you're sitting on a gold mine. If you have ever rumbled in a restaurant for years and years, get paid for what your sales skill level is. Seriously. Why make $20 on a perfect table, a table that, everything went smooth, the food came out on time, everything was cooked right, they loved the drinks, they loved the food, they tipped you well. If you did that with us, that tip wouldn't be $20, it would be $1,500, $800, $3,000, $2,200, $1,800. Give yourself this opportunity. Why sell low ticket items? Sell high ticket items. This doesn't have to be insurance. This is just advice to where if you're that good at serving and bartending, you have a certain skill set, you just don't know it. You haven't thought about it like that. But you could go to another sales opportunity and absolutely crush it with better income. Level up, guys. Think about it. Level up. You've got kids, you got a mortgage, you got a house. Time to level up. The cost of everything right now. I swear to God, I went to the store today or yesterday. I'm like, what? Let your skills shine. Whether it's insurance, real estate, obviously, multiple kids I worked with went on to be successful real estate agents. 6 or 7 of them, successful real estate agents. Jeff, Kenny, Sheena, these guys crush it. Hit me up and give me 5 minutes on a Zoom and I'll show you exactly what we do and I'll show you what the pay would look like. Because anyone who sits with me on a Zoom and I show them this, they're like, sign me up. Sign me up now. We're very straightforward. We're not here to BS. We don't sell by selling. We sell by not selling. We educate, we advocate, and we crush it. I love you guys. Guys, have a good night. If you're in the hospitality industry, think about coverage for yourself and also think about changing your future and getting paid for what you're worth. Love you guys.